Good morning, children. Children, you have learnt about rate law expression, which is very important topic for the examination. Let me move ahead with next topic, that is order of a reaction. Children, in order to understand order of a reaction, let me write one of the general reaction wherein AA combines with BB giving rise to products. And you know how to represent the rate law expression for a chemical reaction. Look at here, a rate is equal to a rate constant into product of molar concentration of reactants raised to their numerical coefficient. Is it not? So this is what theoretical rate law expression. Children, remember, in order to write experimental rate law expression, you need to perform an experiment and then you have to find out the numerical coefficient. In that case, how do I write? Look at here, a rate is equal to K into molar concentration of reactants raised to experimentally determined coefficient. Children, in that case, M and N becomes the experimentally determined numerical coefficients. Now in that case, this will become experimental rate law expression. Children, in order to find the order of reaction for any kind of reaction, you can write order of a reaction. For this reaction, how do I write that? M plus N. Then tell me, how do you define the term order of a reaction? Children, order of a reaction is defined as sum of the powers to which the concentration terms are raised in rate law expression. Always remember, the concentration term should be in terms of experimentally determined rate law expression. I repeat again, order of a reaction is defined as sum of the powers to which the concentration terms raised in rate law expression. Children, the order of a reaction may be whole number, zero, or fraction, but never be a negative quantity. That you need to remember. Let me quote one more particular example. Children, look at here. Hydrogen combines with the bromine to form 2HBr. Now, look at here. A rate law expression, right? The rate is equal to K into molar concentration of hydrogen into molar concentration of bromine. Look at it, children. So this is what theoretical expression which is obtained from balanced chemical equation and as per the law of mass action. But after conducting experiment, if you find out the numerical coefficient, it would be somewhat like this. Children, so this is what experimental rate law expression. Now I need to consider this expression for finding the order of reaction for this reaction in which hydrogen combines with bromine to form hydrogen bromide. Children, look at here. How do I write? Now order of reaction is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2, that is equal to 3 by 2. So order of reaction for hydrogen combining with bromine to form hydrogen bromide is 3 by 2, a fraction. Children, hope you understand. Now what do? I'm going to find out different kinds of order of reaction which is based on the value of coefficient in a experimentally determined rate law expression. Let me take up that. Children, Based on the new value of a numerical coefficient, you can classify order of reaction to various type. Let me quote. Number 1, zero order reaction. Number 2, first order reaction. Number 3, second order reaction. Number 4, fraction order of a reaction. Children, I said this classification of order of reaction is based on the value of a numerical coefficient. Let me take up the first one, zero order reaction. Children, remember, in case of a zero order reaction, the rate of the reaction is independent of initial concentration of reactants. So that is why rate is equal to rate constant. Let me quote an example. Look at here, please. Hydrogen, chlorine to form hydrogen chloride. Children, in this case, rate is equal to K into molar concentration of hydrogen raised to 0, molar concentration of chlorine raised to 0. Children, this is as per the experimental determined. In that case, look at here, anything, any molar concentration raised to 0 is 1. So what I do, H2 raised to 0, that is equal to chlorine raised to 0, that is equal to 1. In that case, how do I write? Rate is equal to K. So this is for zero order reaction. And you can quote one more example, children. Look at here, 2NH3 on heating, you are going to get, look at here, N2 plus 3H2. In this case, look at here, rate is equal to K into molar concentration of ammonia raised to 0. Remember, this is after conducting the experiment. Children, if you write theoretical rate law expression, this will be raised to 2. But after conducting the experiment, you found out that it is raised to 0 but not the 2. In that case, rate is equal to K. Hope you understand that. Let me go for the second one. What is that? Children, that is first order reaction. Children, you can quote here example. Look at here, 2N2O5. When it is heated, you are going to get 4NO2 plus O2. Look at here. After conducting the experiment, you write the rate law expression. Rate is equal to K into molar concentration of N2O5 raised to 1. This is after conducting the experiment. Children, in that case, look at here, order is equal to 1. Order is equal to 1. Hope you got it. One more example, let me quote here. H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, undergo dissociation to form H2O plus of O2. Now children, after conducting the experiment, write the rate law expression is equal to H2O2 raised to 1. So order is equal to 1. Hope you understand. This is what first order reaction. Let me go for the second order reaction. Children, in this case, it's again very simple. Let me quote an example here. 2HI undergo decomposition to form H2 plus I2. How do I write? Look at here. Rate is equal to K into molar concentration of a reactant raised to numerical coefficient determined experimentally. In this case, theoretical rate law expression as well as experimental determined rate law expression are same. In that case, order is equal to 2. Order is equal to 2. Children, let me go for the next one. What is that? Fractional order of reaction. Just now you have learnt that hydrogen combines with the bromine to form 2HBr. Children, in that case, after conducting the experiment, I write the rate law expression. You would see that H2 raised to 1 molar concentration of bromine raised to 1 by 2. So order is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2, that is equal to 3 by 2. This is what a fractional order of reaction. Children, in this way you can find out order of a reaction by knowing numerical coefficient value after conducting the experiment. Children, now what do? I'll go for one of the very important topic for board examination as well as competitive examination, that is units of rate constant. Units of rate constant. Children, let me consider a general reaction. Wherein Na getting converted into products. Now, how do I write the rate law expression? Look at here. A rate is equal to K into molar concentration of A raised to N, where N is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. That is what the order. Is it not? Children, let me find out the unit of a rate constant one by one. Let me consider the first one for nth order of reaction. How do I write? Look at here, children. K is equal to mole per liter 1 minus N per second. This for the nth order. Now let me go for the second one for zero order reaction. Unit for rate constant for zero order reaction. In that case, N is equal to how much? N is equal to 0. Is it not? Now how do I write? K is equal to mole per liter 1 minus 0 per second. Children, in that case 1 minus 0 is 1 only, so mole per liter per second. So this is the unit for rate constant for zero order reaction. Let me go for the third one, first order reaction. Now, you know the expression, what is that? K is equal to mole per liter per second. This is for the nth order. Now N is equal to 1 for first order reaction, is it not? Because N is equal to 1, it becomes first order reaction. Now what do I write? So K is equal to mole per liter 1 minus N is equal to what here? N is equal to 1 year per second. So this becomes 0, the entire quantity becomes 0 here, and the unit is per second. So unit of rate constant for first order reaction is per second, second inverse. Okay, the fourth one, second order reaction. Now N is equal to how much here? N is equal to 2 for second order reaction. How do I write? K is equal to mole per liter 1 minus N is equal to 2 per second. In that case, look at here, 1 minus 2 is equal to minus 1. Mole inverse minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1 liter per second. Or you can write liter per mole per second. So this is a unit for rate constant for second order reaction. Let me go for the third order reaction. Children, in that case, n is equal to 3. N is equal to 3 if it has to be third order reaction. How do I write? Look at here. K is equal to mole per liter 1 minus 3 rather per second. Is it not? Now in that case, mole 1 minus 3 is equal to minus 2 mole inverse square liter square per second, or you can write liter square mole inverse square per second. So this is what the unit for a rate constant for third order reaction. Children, this topic is very important for the examination. Now let me stop it here. I'll go for the next topic. What is that? Molecularity of a reaction. That is also important, like your order of a reaction. Children, previously you have learnt about order of a reaction. Now let me go for one more important term in chemical kinetics, that is molecularity of a reaction. As per collision theory, chemical reaction takes place because of the collision which occurs between the reactant molecules. Remember, molecularity of a reaction directly depends upon number of reactant molecules that collide. Children, molecularity of a reaction can be defined as the number of reacting species that must collide simultaneously in a chemical reaction. I repeat again, molecularity of a reaction is defined as number of reacting species or the reactant molecules that must collide simultaneously in a chemical reaction. Remember, molecularity of a reaction is different for different kind of reactions like elementary reaction and complex reaction. Children, let me take up the molecularity of a reaction for elementary reaction. So before going for the molecularity of a elementary reaction, children, we should know what is meant by elementary reaction. Remember, elementary reactions are those reactions which occurs in one step without the formation of intermediate during the chemical reaction. I repeat again, elementary reactions are all those reactions which takes place in one step without the formation of intermediate. They directly convert from reactant into products. Children, in such cases, the molecularity of a reaction can be defined as number of reactant molecules that collide during the chemical reaction. Children, let me quote an example here. Look at here. What do I do? Ammonium nitrate, NH4NO2. When I heat that, you are going to get nitrogen plus 2H2O. Children, look at here. How many molecules are involved in the chemical reaction? Here only one molecule. So that is why the molecularity for this reaction is equal to 1, otherwise called unimolecular reaction. What do you call that? Unimolecular reaction, because only one reactant molecule is involved. Hope you understand that. Now let me quote one more example, children. Here, hydrogen combines with iodine to form 2HI. Look at here. This also occurs in one step. So what do you call the reaction which takes place in one step? Children, you call them as elementary reaction. Now look at here. In this case of elementary reaction, how many molecules are involved here? 2 molecules. That means molecularity is equal to 2, otherwise called bimolecular reaction. What do you call that? Bimolecular reaction. Children, very simple. the number of reactant molecules that collide simultaneously in a elementary reaction is its molecularity of a reaction. Let me quote one more example, children. Look at here. In the case of nitric oxide, two molecules of nitric oxide combines with chlorine to form 2NOCl. 2NOCl. In this case, look at here. Totally how many reactant molecules are involved? 2NO and 1 Cl2. That means molecularity is equal to 3, otherwise called tri-molecular reaction. So that is in the case of elementary reaction. Children, after understanding molecularity for a elementary reaction, let me go for the second type, molecularity of a complex reaction. Second one, for a complex reaction. Remember, before finding the molecularity, let us understand what is meant by a complex reaction. Children, all those reactions which occurs in a number of steps involving a number of intermediates is called what you call this complex reaction. Remember, in such a complex reaction, one of the elementary reaction or one of the step will be slowest in nature. That will determine the rate of a chemical reaction. Children, always remember the molecularity for a complex reaction depends on that one step or the elementary reaction which occurs slowly, which determines the rate of the reaction. In other words, the molecularity of a complex reaction is defined as number of reactant molecules that collide in a rate determining step, otherwise slowest step in the complex reaction. Children, let me take up an example, then you will understand. 4HBr plus O2 giving rise to 2H2O plus 2Br2. Look at here. This is a complex reaction which occurs in number of steps. Let me write all the steps. HBr, hydrogen bromide, combines with oxygen to form HOOBr. Children, this is the slowest step which determines the rate, and this step is very important for me to find the molecularity for a complex reaction. Children, HOOBr combines with one more molecule of HBr to form HOBr plus HOBr. Children, in this case, HOBr, two molecules I'll take because two molecules are there, and you are going to get H2O plus Br2. Now what do? I multiply by 2. In that case, look at it, children, what I'm going to get, overall reaction 4HBr plus, look at here, 2O2. You're going to get 2H2O plus 2Br2. Children, this is what the final overall reaction of this complex reaction, wherein it involved 3 steps. Each step is called elementary step. In that we need to find out the slowest step which determines the rate of the reaction. In that you have to find out how many molecules are involved in the rate determining step. Now children, in that case there are 2 molecules are involved. In this case, what do you do? Molecularity is equal to 2, otherwise called bimolecular reaction. Children, hope you understand that. It's very simple. Molecularity for elementary reaction as well as for complex reaction or differ. Each will depend on the number of molecules involved in collision during the chemical reaction. After understanding that, children, let me go for the differences between order of a reaction and molecularity of a reaction, which is very, very important for the examination. Children, you have learnt about, the definition for order of a reaction as well as molecular reaction. Now let be the first difference is the definition. What is order of a reaction? Children, order of reaction is nothing but sum of the powers to which the concentration terms are raised in a rate law expression. And what I do, I write here definition. Definition you have to write. Other side also definition. What is molecularity of reaction? Children, molecularity of a reaction is nothing but number of molecules that must collide simultaneously in a chemical reaction. So here also definition, all good. Second one, children, order of reaction is experimentally determined. Experimentally determined and cannot be predicted, whereas other side, this is just theoretical one, theoretical and can be easily predicted. How? Just count how many reacting molecules are there in a balanced chemical equation. You can easily find out how many molecules are colliding with each other. That will depend, gives you the molecularity of a reaction. Children, hope you understand that. Now, third one. Children, order of reaction can be whole number, zero, or fraction, but never be a negative quantity. Is it not? That's what you have learned under order of reaction. Whereas other side, children, this is only whole number. One more, the order of reaction can be more than a 3. More than 3. Whereas molecularity of reaction cannot be more than 3. Children, so these are the differences between order of reaction and molecularity of a reaction. Hope you understand that. Now, what I do, I go for one more important topic, that is pseudo-order reaction. Children, after understanding the differences between order of a reaction and molecularity of a reaction, let me go for the next topic, that is pseudo-order reaction. You might have learnt about pseudopodia in biology, is it not? Pseudo refers to false, podia refers to feet, false feet. Children, here the term pseudo refers to false. Remember, a reaction which appears to be of higher order but actually follows the kinetics of lower order reaction is called pseudo order reaction. I repeat again, a reaction which appears to be of higher order but follows the kinetics of lower order reaction is called pseudo order reaction. Children, new syllabus, we have what you call that pseudo first order reaction. A reaction which appears to be second order but actually follows the kinetics of first order chemical reaction is called pseudo order chemical first order reaction. Children, let me quote an example, you will understand that. Now I have an example called hydrolysis of ethyl acetate. Ethyl acetate. Now look at here, Ca3 CO C2H5. Children, so this is what ethyl acetate. When it is hydrolyzed by using water, you are going to get Ca3COOH plus C2H5OH. One is ethanoic acid, other one is ethanol. Children, let me repeat again, a reaction which appears to be of a second order but follows the kinetics of first order chemical reaction when one of the concentration of the reactant is taken in a large amount or large excess. Children, the best example is hydrolysis of ethyl acetate. Look at here, let me take when time is equal to 0, the concentration of ethyl acetate, let it be 0.1 moles. Now concentration of water be 55.50, and initially when the reaction is not occurring, the concentration of product would be 0. Is it not? Now remember, at a time t, the concentration of ethyl acetate becomes 0. The reaction has already completed. Now look at here, how much of water is consumed here is only 55.49. That means 0.01 molar concentration consumed in this reaction, children. That means you have taken water in a large excess. Now in that case, look at here, you are going to get 0.1 molar concentration of ethanoic acid and 0.1 molar concentration of ethanol. Children, in this reaction, the rate of the reaction depends only on the concentration of ethyl acetate, because the concentration of water you have taken in large quantity, and hence the concentration of water remains practically constant. That is why it should not be considered here. That means the rate of the reaction depends only on the concentration of ethyl acetate. Children, in that case, how to write? Look at here, a rate is equal to K into concentration of ethyl acetate and concentration of water remains constant. So that is why it follows first order kinetics but appears to be like second order. That you need to remember. So children, you can quote one more example, that is hydrolysis of sucrose. Hydrolysis of sucrose. What is sucrose, children? You have C12H22O11, is it not? On hydrolysis with water, you are going to get C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. So one is glucose, other one is fructose. One is glucose, other one is fructose. This is sucrose. What I do? I take 0.1 molar concentration of sucrose and I take say 55.50 ml of water, and at the beginning it will be 0, 0. At the end of the reaction, remember the concentration of sucrose becomes 0, whereas the concentration of water almost practically constant, and that is why the rate of the reaction depends only on the sucrose but not on the water. Now a reaction which appears to be of a second order but follows a first order kinetics if one of the reactant is taken in large quantity. Children, in this case our rate is equal to K into concentration of C12H22O11. That means order is equal to 1. This first order kinetics. That means concentration of water is to be taken as constant. So hope you understand about pseudo order as well as pseudo first order reaction. Let me go for the next topic, integrated rate equations. Children, after understanding order of a reaction and molecularity of a reaction, let us take up one more very important topic of the unit, that is methods of analyzing the effect of concentration. Children, there are three methods to analyze the effect of concentration on a rate of a reaction. Let me list down. Number one, initial rate method. Number two, graphical method. Number three, integrated rate law method. So these are the three methods by which you can analyze the effect of concentration on rate of a reaction. Children, the first two methods we are not going to concentrate because they are not included in your syllabus. What I do, I'll restrict myself only for the third one, integrated rate law method, for analyzing the effect of concentration on a rate of a reaction. Children, let me take up integrated rate law method. Remember, concentration dependence rate equation is a differential rate equation. Children, it is very difficult to determine instantaneous rate or average rate of a reaction using differential rate equation. That is why we need to integrate the differential rate equation. Also remember, integrated rate equation is different for different order of a reaction. Children, let me take up the integrated rate equation for zero order reaction, and then I will take up integrated rate equation for first order reaction. Children, before I go for integrated rate equation for zero order reaction, children, let us understand what is meant by zero order reaction. Zero order reaction means the rate of the reaction which is a proportion to the concentration of the reactant raised to the power 0. Children, let me consider one of the simplest general hypothetical zero order reaction where reactant is converted into products. First, let me write the differential rate equation. The differential rate equation. How do I write? Look at here, children. Rate is equal to minus D into molar concentration of R upon dt. Let this as equation 1. Similarly, I can write the rate law expression for the same reaction. The rate law expression for the above reaction can be written as, look at here, a rate is equal to K into molar concentration of the reactants raised to 0, because we have taken this reaction as a zero order reaction. And you know that, children, anything which is raised to 0 is equal to 1. Is it not? In that case, what I do? Rate is equal to k, and this let it be as equation 2. Children, let me equate equation number 1 and 2. Now look at here, equating equation 1 and 2. Right, minus dr upon dt is equal to k. Is it not? Now let me rearrange, children. D, concentration of reactant, is equal to minus k into dt. Children, now I integrate on both the sides. Look at here, I'll integrate on both the sides. Minus k into dt. Once I integrate, let me find out or identify the limits. Children, look at here. In this case, R naught, concentration of R to dr is equal to minus k into 0 t into dt. Children, once I identify the limits, let me substitute the limits. Look at here, this will become R, is it not? R naught R, that is equal to minus k into this one t 0 t. Now substitute the limits upper as well as the lower limit. What are you going to get? Look at it, children. Concentration of R minus the concentration of R naught is equal to minus k into t, because t minus 0 is nothing but t, so I write as directly minus kt. Children, look at here. I rearrange R is equal to minus kt plus R naught. Children, look at this equation. This equation is similar to that of the straight line equation, where you write as y is equal to mx plus c. That means this expression is comparable with straight line equation. Children, if I plot a graph of, look at here, concentration of reactants versus a time, what do I get? Look at here, I'm going to get a straight line this. Right? Now slope, children, you can identify from the expression slope is equal to minus k. And let me write intercept. Children, the intercept would be R naught. You can see the graph is going downwards. What does that mean? That as the time progress, the concentration of the reactant decreases. That you need to remember. Children, let me write the expression again here. Look at here. R is equal to minus kt plus R naught. So what I do? Look at here. I rearrange the expression. R naught minus R is equal to kt. Is it not? Now look at here. K is equal to R naught minus R upon T. Children, you can also write as T is equal to R naught minus R upon K. So children, so this is what integrated rate equation, integrated rate equation for zero order reaction. So this is how you need to get or derive an expression for integrated rate equation of zero order reaction. Children, once you understand this, let me go for the second one. What is that? Integrated rate equation for first order reaction. Children, after understanding integrated rate equation for zero order reaction, let me go for the second one, integrated rate equation for first order reaction. In the introduction, I said integrated rate equation is different for different order of reaction. So before going for the integrated rate equation for first order reaction, let us understand what is meant by first order reaction. Children, first order reaction means a rate of a reaction which is proportional to the concentration of a reactant raised to the power 1. Is it not? Let me consider one of the simplest hypothetical first order reaction in order to get integrated rate equation. Children, look at here. Reactants getting converted into products. Assume this as a first order reaction. In that case, I can write the differential rate equation as, look at here, rate is equal to minus dr upon dt. Is it not? Now let this as be equation 1. Similarly, I can write the rate law expression for this reaction. How do I write? Look at it, children. Remember, it's a first order reaction. Rate is equal to rate constant into concentration of a reactants raised to power 1. So this is what? Equation 2. Children, let me equate equation 1 with equation 2. So equating equation 1 and 2. Children, let me write, look at here, minus dr upon dt is equal to K into concentration of reactants. I'll reshuffle the reaction. Look at it, children. dr upon r, I'll bring this side, minus K into dt. Hope you got it. Now once I do this, children, I'll go for integrating on both the side. Look at here, dr upon r is equal to minus k, the integration of dt. Once I integrate, I'll identify the limits. Children, look at here. This will be r naught r. So dr upon r, that is equal to minus k into integration of, I'll identify the limit, 0 to t, this be dt. Is it not? Now look at here, I'll write as, this will become ln r. Is it not? Now it is r naught limits r minus k t 0 to t. Hope you got it. Now let me substitute the upper and lower limit. How do I do that? Look at it, please. Ln r minus ln r naught is equal to minus k into t. T minus 0 is nothing but t, so I will write as minus k into t. Children, ln r is equal to minus kt plus ln r naught. Is it not? Look at here. This expression is similar to that of a straight line equation. Y is equal to mx plus c. You can compare this expression with that of the straight line equation. Children, if I plot a graph of ln r versus a t, now what I get? Look at it, children. So I'll take here as a ln r. So t time, I'm going to get a straight line this. And we can write slope is equal to minus k. Whereas intercept, I'll write as ln r naught. Is it not? So what does it mean that? Children, it means that as the time progresses, concentration of the reactant also decreases. That you need to understand by application. Children, let me rearrange the equation again. Look at here, we have ln r minus k t plus ln r naught. I'll rearrange the equation. How do I do that? Please look at here. Ln r is equal to ln r naught minus kt. Hope you got it. Now I convert natural logarithm to the logarithm to the base 10. In that case, look at here. 2.303 of log r is equal to 2.303 log r naught minus kt. Is it not? Now I'll divide the entire equation by 2.303. Now look at here, what I'm going to get? Log r is equal to log r naught minus kt upon 2.303. Is it not? Now again I'll reshuffle. I'll bring this side. kt upon 2.303, that is equal to, children, you should be careful here, log r naught minus log r. Is it not? Now what I do? Look at it, children. Now I want k here. I'll keep k here, right? Now 2.303 upon a t into log of what I do? R naught upon r. Tell me why? You know that log m minus log n is equal to, what is that? Log m by n. Okay, the same rule I used here. So in that case, children, so this is what integrated rate equation for first order reaction. I can also write like, look at here, T is equal to 2.303 upon T, sorry, K log of R naught upon R. Hope you understand that? Is it not? Children, again I'll take up in terms of two different times. Children, so this is what integrated rate equation for first order reaction. Let us find out the expression for the integrated rate equation for first order at two different times. For this, let me consider, children, ln R is equal to minus kt plus ln R naught. So this expression you already learnt, is it not? Now children, at t is equal to t1, how do I write that? Look at here, ln r1 is equal to minus kt1 plus ln r0. Is it not? Let it be as equation 1. At t is equal to t2, how do I write that? Ln r2 is equal to minus kt2 plus ln r0. Let this is be as equation 2. Now what I do? Look at here, ln r1 minus ln r2. Equation 1 minus equation 2. Is it not? Look at here, minus kt1 plus ln r0 minus kt2 plus ln r0. Is it not? I'll simplify. Minus kt1 plus ln r0 minus to minus plus kt2 minus ln r0. Children, these two will cancel. I can write minus kt1 plus kt2. So children, I can write this one, look at here, as k, I'll take the common. Now I reshuffle t2 minus t1. Is it not? Now look at here, other side, what do you have? We have ln r1 minus ln r2. Now what I do? Look at here children, ln r1 upon r2. Why? You know this, log m minus log n is equal to log m by n, or ln m minus ln n is equal to ln m by n. Same rule I applied here. That is equal to k t2 minus t1. Children, hope you are getting that. Or k is equal to, children, 1 by t2 minus t1 into ln of r1 upon r2. This is also one of the important expression for solving some of the numerical at the end of this unit. Children, I can rearrange this expression in a different way also. Look at here, ln r minus k into t plus ln r0. Is it not? So this you already learned in the beginning. Now I'll rearrange. Look at here, ln r, I'll bring this side, ln r0 is equal to minus kt. Hope you got it. Now what I do? Look at here, ln r by r0 is equal to minus kt. Why? Children, you know that ln m minus ln n is equal to ln m by n. The same rule applied here. Hope you got it. Now look at here, I convert natural logarithm to the logarithm to the base e, or by r0, that is equal to minus kt. Children, look at here, r by r0 is equal to e to the power minus kt. How do I write that? Exponential to the minus kt. Look at it children, we have one rule, log e x is equal to y. So x is equal to e to the power of y. So there is a rule, the same rule I applied here. Children, remember, if I plot a graph of concentration versus a time, children, I am going to get a curve like this. It's called exponential curve. Children, Always remember, all the naturally occurring as well as the artificial radioactive elements, they undergo decay as per the first order kinetics, and this is what exponential decay or the curve for all the radioactive elements. Remember, all the artificial and naturally occurring radioactive substances, they undergo decomposition or decay as per first order kinetics. Children, after understanding integrated rate equation for first order reaction, now let me take up the same integrated rate equation for first order reaction in a gas phase. Children, I'm not going to derive this expression, just I'll write the expression and I'll explain you. Look at here, K is equal to 2.303 upon a T into log of, children, P naught upon 2P naught minus Pt. So this is the expression which is used to find out the rate of a reaction for the reactants in the gas phase. Children, where P naught is initial pressure, and Pt is the pressure at time t. This you need to remember, because we are going to solve some of the numerical on integrated rate equation for first order reaction taking place in a gas phase. Hope you got it. Now let me go for next topic, which is also very, very important, that is half-life period. Half-life period designated as or denoted as T off. Children, half-life period can also be used to measure or calculate the order of a reaction. Then what is this half-life period? Children, half-life period is defined as the time during which the concentration of reactant is reduced to half of its initial concentration. I repeat again, the time during which the concentration of the reactants is reduced to half of its initial concentration is called half-life period, and it is denoted as T off. Remember, half-life period for zero order reaction as well as a first order reaction are different. Children, let me take up half-life period for first zero order reaction, and then I'll go for the first order reaction. Children, you know the expression for integrated rate equation for zero order reaction? What is that? Children, let me write. Look at here. K is equal to R naught minus R upon T. Is it not? Now children, if T is equal to T off, is it not? Then concentration of reactant is equal to R naught by 2. Why? Because the concentration is reduced to half of its initial concentration. In that case, let me substitute. Children, look at here. K is equal to R naught minus R naught upon 2 divided by T off. Now in that case, T off is equal to, children, 2 R naught minus R naught is equal to R naught. Is it not? Now 2 will come to the denominator, it is equal to 2K. So this is what? Integrated rate equation for zero order reaction of half-life period. This you need to remember. Similarly, children, let me take up the second one. What is that? Half-life period for first order reaction. And you know the expression for integrated rate equation for first order reaction. How do I write that? Children, look at here. K is equal to 2.303 upon a T. Is it not? Is equal to log of, children, R naught upon R. So this is what you learnt. Now suppose if T is equal to T of, R would be R naught by 2 because we are considering off life. That means the concentration of the reactant is reduced to half of its initial concentration. That is what it is called off life period. Now let me substitute. Children, look at here. I'll take this T off is equal to 2.303 upon K into log of, look at here, R naught upon, this will substitute as, look at here, R naught by 2. So R naught by 2. Now this will get cancelled. Now what I get? T off is equal to 2.303 upon K into log 2. Is it not? This will come to numerator. Now T off is equal to 2.303 upon K into log 2 value, children, is 0.3010. So that will be 0.693 upon K. So this will be off life period for first order reaction. So children, remember this equations for solving some of the numericals.